You're watching Action News Now. Storm Tracker weather. Coverage you can count on.
Patrick Wright is here now with your forecast. Patrick, I think the million-dollar question is just how long are we going to see this heat stick around for?
Well, I have some good news for you. We will see a slight cooling trend. It's not going to bring us back to the 80s. However, we'll take a trip to at least the mid-90s coming up next week. For now, the heat is around and there is a heat advisory in effect until 11 p.m. tonight. So wear that sunscreen, get outside, and drink plenty of water if you are getting outside tonight, and know your limits for the heat because it is sticking around at least for today and to an extent tomorrow, although slightly cooler. This is from the East Los Molinos camera. A few high clouds passing through. This will add a nice texture or mood to the sunset this evening, but that is about it. No moisture associated with it. We have another warm night ahead. A cooling trend begins tomorrow, and as I mentioned, we'll be back to the 90s by next week. So at least we have that on our horizon. Here's what we have for the futurecast. Tonight, a few high clouds passing through. It may trap some of the heat, but it's not going to do too much other than that. And even then, we'll still have some breaks, which will allow us to cool off a little easier than what we could with this type of heat. Now going forward, we'll have more clouds coming in tomorrow at times, most of it in the mid to higher levels of the atmosphere, and that'll stick with us for most of tomorrow evening. By Monday morning, though, that's when things start to clear out, and we see the return of complete sunshine. Wind-wise, we will have a north breeze tonight at times. That'll begin to break down, and with this ridge of high pressure starting to break down, that's going to bring us the cooler weather next week. We will start to see a southerly breeze kicking in. This will do a couple things. A, help cool us off a little bit, gust up to about 15 to 20 miles per hour, but also this will bring in some humidity from the Bay Area, and that means that'll bump down our fire danger, although only slightly. Gusts tomorrow evening up to about 15-ish miles per hour in some parts of the valley. So here's what we have for your fire danger tomorrow. Temperatures 102 to about 110 degrees. That south wind of about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Humidity still 10 to 25%. That is better than what we are seeing today, which is some good news, but that's about as good as you're going to get for this time of year. We are still seeing fire danger in the high to very high range, so use caution whenever you're pulling anything or doing anything that could accidentally spark something. Some of those finer fuels, such as your grasses, will most likely catch pretty quickly. Temperatures tonight, low to mid 70s across the valley. 74 in Chico, 73 in Redding. Coolest area a little farther south, 71 out towards Willows. A little bit of a struggle to open up the windows for most places, so if you want to open up those windows tonight, get to the mountains where temperatures will be in the mid 70s. Highs tomorrow, 101 in Chico, 106 in Redding. Some places could be a little warmer than that, otherwise still above 100 for everybody around the valley. So it's another hot day, but slightly cooler. If you're heading out to the foothills for some hiking, it will still be hot, a few high clouds possible, temperatures in the mid 90s. So again, bring that water, bring that sunscreen, and know your limits in the heat, and try and get it done in the morning. Here's what we have the next 7 days. Down to the mid 90s by Wednesday and Thursday. That is a little cooler than average for this time of year. However, it is still hot, although better than 110 to 113 degrees, which some places in the valley have seen, and some cooler temperatures in the overnight hours, sitting into the mid 60s for parts of the valley. In the overnight hours next week, Redding getting to the upper 90s, which is again right around average for this time of year. So we're at least approaching average and not dealing with the 100s that we've had the last couple of days.